Hey, what's going on, guys? Hate comments. It's a thing that just exists if you're making videos, making online content, doing anything online. Hate comments are something that you just see. I've been doing this for a number of years now, and so it's something that just kind of doesn't really bother me and has never really bothered me, to be honest. And a couple things that I want to mention here before we get into taking a look at some of these is that, I've now been doing this since 2014 is when I started this channel, and I've never done one of these videos before, so that should just kind of illustrate to you guys that, hate comments are not something that I really deal with all that often here, which I'm very lucky in that sense. I've always kind of felt fairly fortunate that I haven't had to deal with a lot of negativity here around my channel, and I assume that that's partly, because of the content that I make and like how I talk to you guys and how I present my content to you guys. It's not conducive to a lot of negativity, I hope. But then I also just think that it's a thing that I've always felt reflects well on our community. Of course, there's sometimes stuff happens and like there's bickering and negativity happens, but I think compared to a lot of other different kind of hobby and interest communities and stuff like that, generally I think it's a pretty positive space, and I've always liked that about the Gunpla and just overall modeling community in general. So with that out of the way, yeah, I have had some hate comments through the years. The ones that we're going to be sharing with you here today are basically like from the past year-ish or so. If you guys enjoy today's video and you would like to see another one, I can dig back through some stuff and I can find some more earlier ones. But the other thing I want to say too is that I always welcome your guys' constructive criticism. If you have suggestions or you want to let me know if there's certain content that you like more or less, or some things that you would like to see improved or whatever, I always welcome that, just in a constructive way. But I think you guys will see, through some of these comments here, that these are not so productive in their tone or in their messaging. But the other thing too is that I don't want you guys to go and attack these people. I'm gonna blur the names. If you go to the videos that they're on, and I'll let you know what videos they're on because usually the comments related to the video, but if you go to the video, of course you can find the comment, but don't go attacking these people. That's not what this is about. I just thought it'd just be fun to have a laugh between us, just to see kind of what some of this crazy stuff is that some people say sometimes. All right, so let's get into it here. Here's one on the 1/60 scale Mazinger kit where someone said, "Seam lines? Bruh, it's a fucking toy." Yeah, except that it's not a toy, it's a model kit, so yeah, it has seam lines, and that's kind of a part of modeling here. All right, that guy was obviously a little bit confused here. Here's another comment from somebody who was confused about the difference between a toy and a model kit. On my review about how to fix the RG Shinanju, this guy said, "The fact that you spend time trying to justify your little robot toys not being toys kills me." Yeah, again, not a toy, so I don't know what to tell you there. It's a model kit, and there's a difference. All right. Here's one which was kind of ripe with controversy. One of my more controversial videos, I guess, talking about, well, it was titled, "This is Poisoning the Online Gunpla Community." Obviously, it was, a clickbait title, clickbait thumbnail for that, but I think for those of you guys who did watch the video in full and paid attention to the video, you know that there was a reason behind it was clickbait, and like the first 30 seconds of the video was like kind of a bait and switch kind of thing. But unfortunately, a lot of people just kind of didn't like the fact that it was clickbait, or they didn't like the first 30 seconds of the video and just went straight to the comments. Here was one of them where this guy said, "TLDR, hey guys, I upload pretty worthwhile content, but today I'm running short on ideas and want to just rant about something that might resonate with the fundamentalist and incel crowd that is apparently a large part of my fan base." Just on a quick note on that, I've sometimes had this comment where people say that I'm making some other sort of different type of video, and the reason is that I'm running short on content. It's kind of a difficult thing as a content creator when you try something new or something a little bit different. People will say, "Oh, he's running out of ideas." But if you don't try anything new, then people don't like the fact that you never try anything new. So you kind of have to branch out sometimes and try other different kind of random things, like this video here today, for example. Anyway, he continues here, again kind of quoting me, I guess, in his comment. Even though the entire industry that drives the hobby I rely on for income is driven heavily by their animation and depiction, boobs are just bad for business, specifically my business. If you're watching boobs, you aren't gonna watch some moron kid build Gunpla anymore, and fair competition is just a really hard pill for me to swallow. That being said, you should be ashamed at enjoying boobs. Yeah, again, that was not the message of the video at all. If you only watched the first 30 seconds of the video, you might have thought that, but yeah, again, just someone kind of a little off base there with that comment, unfortunately. Here's one which is of the variety that is from what I can only assume is a Japanese commenter, and I only get these comments. It's very rare for me to get any comments from Japanese viewers, just because I think, obviously, because my content is in English, the majority of my audience is English speaking, which are usually probably not Japanese people. But the rare occasion that I do get a comment from someone who I can assume is Japanese is on like non-official products, i.e. like anything bootleg related. So this one was here on the Supernova MG Sandrock. Here he says, does Supernova have the authority to release a Gundam? Not necessarily so much a hate comment, but I get what he's going for. Basically, he's like trying to say like, hey, that's an illegal bootleg. And yeah, my answer was just no, because yeah, of course they don't. It's a bootleg. But I mean, you know, as I am a content creator now and a model builder now, the bootlegs are of less interest to me, you know, like straight up bootleg stuff like that. But I mean, it's just not the kind of stuff that I'm necessarily interested in. There was a time when I did build and review of bootleg kits every so often, you know. But yeah, the Japanese comments come out of the woodwork when they don't like the fact that I'm reviewing or featuring anything that's, you know, not properly licensed. So especially if it's a Japanese property. Here's a good one. Just recently after I moved here to the US and was kind of getting set up here, this guy said, dude, what the hell? I clicked your link to USA Gundam. I was offered 10% for my email. Okay, fine. Immediate pop-up. Now you want my phone number and permission to text me to actually get the 10% off. Shady AF. Yeah, this was at a time when my ZakuAurelius 10 discount code was still working and active, so you didn't even really need to do that email whole registration thing. If you didn't want to, you could have just used my discount code, which just on a side note, a lot of people did miss the note about that as to why the discount code doesn't work anymore or why we don't use that anymore. And that was basically just because in recent history, the shipping rates on everything has gone up. And so we just weren't offering that discount code anymore. That said, there's like very often sales and discount codes, like at least monthly, if not like almost every other week, something like that. So there's always opportunity for you guys to get, you know, whatever, 5, 10, 15% off different stuff. And then plus the fact that like almost every website that you shop at these days now is at least going to ask for your email. And then, you know, your phone number is going to be an optional thing. So, I mean, that's not too out of the ordinary in 2023, I feel like. Up next here, this is another 2 comments on 2 different videos, but from the same person, like back to back. And this is another kind of common theme is like confusion about grades on kits. So here on my what are the must build master grade kits, he commented here, some of those MG aren't even MG. They're rather cheaply made and not that great in terms of details. I mean, like I get what he's saying is that even though they're technically MG, they shouldn't be labeled MG because they're not up to the standard of what MG is. And again, in my recent video talking all about kind of MGs, I talked about this where, yeah, there's a quite wide range in complexity in what makes a master grade kit. So this whole kind of thing of, even though that's an MG, saying that it's not an MG because it's not up to whatever particular standard is just kind of silly. I mean, if Bandai puts an MG on it, then it's an MG. So I don't know what to tell you. This other one was here on the Zero Gravity Judge review here. He said, for that kind of money, I expect this to be top-notch, high-quality parts throughout. There's no way I'm paying that kind of money for flimsy parts. The level of detail needs to be the caviar quality if I'm to pay that much for it. Where, I mean, I don't know how he got that idea off the review, because as far as I can remember, it was a very overwhelmingly positive review because it was a really overwhelmingly positive kit. It was a great kit. And so I don't know how he came away with the thinking that it was in some way kind of, you know, loose parts or the quality was not good, because it's a really good quality kit. And I think the price for it, I don't remember exactly what the price is for it offhand, but I'm sure it's a very reasonable price for what that kit is. If any of you guys have ever built the Judge or if you've seen reviews about it, I mean, you know, it's a good kit, very complex and solid, and I don't know what to tell you. All right, this next one really made me laugh a lot, just because I thought it was quite funny here. This one was on my live build of the MGX Strike Freedom. And this guy said, that is the dumbest way that you can build a kit. You need the alphabets and numbers on the runners to match with the manual to make each part individually. He was commenting on the fact that I use the organizer boxes for when I build kits. I cut out the sections and put them into arm, leg, torso, head, like that. And he was thinking that that's the dumbest way that you can build a kit. It works for me, and I think it works quite well. And I know a lot of you guys have adopted the same strategy, but apparently it's the dumbest way. I replied, clearly not. And he said, trust me, bro, ask any Gunpla expert. This shit will trigger them. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say that I'm a Gunpla expert, but I've certainly built my fair share of Gunpla kits, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he's so against the whole organizer box method that I use, but apparently it's very wrong and triggering to Gunpla experts. So if you guys are also doing that, just be careful. Okay, so word of heads up there. This next one is one that I think I touched on in a different video, but here's the exact comment about it here. And this was a comment regarding the contest, I think a battle log contest or just another contest that we had recently, where he said, you can tell they're running out of ideas for contests. We see one good contest idea and then 2 to 3 boring ideas. It feels like they're trying to just sell kits at this point. Half of these battle log kits are already recolors, and non-battle log versions should be allowed to be used in the contest. If someone has an HG Ground Gundam and they want to enter the contest, they need to buy the battle log version of it. This seems rather ridiculous because not everyone has the funds to buy a kit, especially since the entire contest is a repaint. If you wanted to do a painting contest, then you do a contest where a select number of colors can be used and see who can do the best color scheme based on those colors. This is a hard pass for me, as it should be for others. And yeah, this is something, I don't remember what the context was that I talked about this topic, but the whole, again, kind of running out of ideas thing where, again, for a contest specifically, we try different things, and then his accusation that it's, he said, it feels like they're just trying to sell kits at this point. I mean, yeah, as you guys all know, I work here at USA Gundam Store. Obviously, we're in the business of selling kits, so yeah, if we can have a contest that also promotes, selling of kits, obviously that's, to the benefit of the business. But we don't always do that. I mean, sometimes that is certainly taken into consideration, but then we do other stuff that's just not even related. I mean, just thinking back to the most recent contest that just finished, for example, the Advanced Zeta contest. I mean, there's only, standard release kits that we even normally carry here at USA Gundam Store. I mean, that's what, 4, 5, 6 kits. I mean, I guess if you also include the MG and HG Quell, and I don't know, there's not really all that many. And then the theme of that, you didn't even need to use an Advanced Zeta kit. You could use whatever you want. So I mean, the other reason that for that specific contest that we use battle log kits is because that was at a time where it was just towards the end of COVID, that was starting to wind down, and there weren't a lot of kits out and available. There was kind of a shortage of kits, and the one kits that were very easily readily available and quite affordable for the most part, it was the battle log kits. So we wanted to have a Gunpla contest that, people, if they didn't have a kit already, they were able to get one and it wouldn't cost a whole lot. And so the battle log theme just kind of made sense. It was something where those kits were just out and new at the time. Yeah, a lot of them were just recolors, I know, but it was sort of relevant at the time, right? So it feels like just kind of personal frustration and then trying to take that out on me and my contest idea where, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. Again, I feel like that's kind of the answer that I keep going to, but going back to the model kit versus toy theme here on the Zoids HMM Genosaur review here, this guy said it's a model kit defense doesn't work as well when you have the advances in kits we've seen in the last decade. They were lazy and cheap and reissued old kits without updating any of the issues. Kits fall apart like this shouldn't be this expensive. Kits that fall apart like this shouldn't be this expensive. I don't need it to be a toy, but I would like to be able to touch it without it exploding. I have this problem with a lot of Kotobukiya stuff. It seems incredibly overpriced for what you get. Yeah, I'll admit, and as I showed in the video, the Genosaur did have some stability issues in it, and again, it's not a toy. it's a model kit. And, you know, if you go back to a lot of different model kits, you know, not Kotobukiya stuff, but other different types of traditional model kits where it's completely all glued together. The fact that, you know, we have Bandai model kits and other Kotobukiya model kits in general that, you know, snap fit really well and you don't need any glue for any of it is awesome. But, you know, model kits, you know, sometimes do need glue or sometimes do need a little bit more work so that you can touch it without it exploding, as he said there. But sorry that these are not better organized, but this one's going back to the video about this is poisoning our Gunpla community about the whole boobs creators thing. And this one is, the problem with starting with a clickbait take like that is if people keep watching, they're increasing your standing on the platform. If they watch your whole video, that's better for you. So if they think your take is shit, why would they continue supporting you? It's a little bit kind of difficult comment to follow exactly what he's meaning and what he's trying to say there. I think what he means to say is that, like, if you put your bad take at the beginning, then you should expect that people are just going to immediately click off or immediately go to the comments and not continue to watch the full video and continue to support you. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't know, maybe that was a mistake on my part to structure the video in that way, to just kind of do a psych out there at the beginning. But I mean, I paid the price for it with some of the hate that I got for the video. But again, like I said, the majority of people that watched the video, at least halfway through, I think got the proper message of the video. And so it's just a shame that a lot of people didn't hear. And if you guys remember later, I did like a follow-up video to that after I got busted after that video. Then someone had noticed that I was like liking Umi Shinnome's tweets on Twitter. That was a kind of fun follow-up video to that. But here's someone which is a kind of more positive kind of comment here, except that you'll notice one thing's missing. And let me read the comment for you and then we'll come back to that. He said, I feel that you're pretty honest about your reviews, but you always give us the pros and cons in your opinions, and more stickers always means less color separation. In most of the female builders actually have talent, and of course they use it as clickbait. So would you if you could. I think your true fans understand what you meant. So yeah, he was basically just kind of agreeing with me, saying that, like, yeah, people who like actually follow your content, actually feel like they're, you know, like fans of yours or fans of the content you make, are of course going to get the message that you were trying to say, and that he feels that I'm pretty good at what I do, right? But please just use some punctuation, please. Get these comments sometimes where, yeah, it's like a nice comment, you know, something nice or bad or neutral, whatever. It's like a paragraph without any punctuation and all. And I understand that for a lot of you guys, you know, English may not be your first language, and totally understand, but, you know, just makes it harder to read the comments when it's that long without any punctuation or anything in it. This is another comment from a Japanese person, I'm sure. He said, because I can tell it's been translated into English here, and actually I translated it here for us, but he said, without your permission, if you use the work or the image of a person without permission, copyright infringement of portrait rights, etc., will be a criminal act. Because she is an idol sued by office, you will be charged for damages. He's trying to say that because I used a picture of Umi in the thumbnail of the video, that I could be sued for copyright infringement of her image. Obviously not really understanding how fair use works here on YouTube, which is unfortunate, but, you know, obviously that I wasn't sued and nothing came of it, so I'm doing okay, fine, thank you. Just one more positive comment here, because I do want to throw a couple positive ones in from that whole video fiasco. He said, I follow Zaku for the skills and his great demeanor. I watch Zaku because his skills add to my own, and his personality seems like one of my bros I would have grown up with and built models together. For the chicks that build models, yeah, I watch them for the titties. Which, I mean, sure. Good on you. Here's somebody who's not pleased with my variety in my reviews. He said, at last, another review of a Gundam kit. I have the old MG Dom and the Dwaj. Nice to see Mr. Zaku blah blah reviewing another kit that matters. I think what he means to say is that he's not a fan of the whatever other non-Gundam kits I was reviewing at the time, you know, whether it be other Kotobukiya kits or whatever. He was upset with me the fact that I hadn't reviewed a Gundam kit in a while. And I know obviously Zaku's in the name, but, you know, I can only review whatever Bandai's putting out, and I try to mix that up in between other stuff. And I think that a lot of you guys, at least from what I've heard from a lot of you guys, is that you appreciate the variety here on the channel, that I review a lot of different things. But I know some people are here only for the Gunpla, and they definitely do let me know when there's a lack of Gunpla. Here's a couple other comments from this same person actually here on some other different videos. He said, the Kyokai Senki shits reviews are such a waste. You should have done this long ago. This one also kind of gets to the point about the speed of how quickly I release a review after the kit is released. You know, I do when like new kits come out, and especially I know if it's going to be a kit that I know is going to be popular with you guys, like Gundam kits especially, I try to get those reviewed as soon as possible. But again, like I said, I do try to mix it up and have a lot of variety here. So if there's other kind of stuff in the line, in the queue that I may review before that, or just kind of other stuff going on, other projects that I'm working on, I'm not always prioritizing getting my review of a new kit out as soon as possible. There are channels that do that, and you guys are welcome to watch those channels who do get their reviews out, you know, ASAP. And I know that that is important and useful for you guys who you want to see the review before you buy the kit. So I understand that's good for the content creator. They tend to get more views on early reviews, and that's good for you guys because you want that information, you know, soon, so you can get your order in for the kit if you want. You know, I try to kind of have a balance of that between, you know, what I want to do here on the channel, the content that I want to make, and those said things. Another comment here from the same guy said, hey, where's the best Gunpla kits of 2021 video? That yeah, that video came, did it? Here's someone upset with the prices here at USA Gundam Store. He said, USA Scam Store doesn't have MG Full Armor Unicorn anywhere near $80. Looking at the website now, it's currently $94.99. And according to Google shopping results, this is my reply to him, is that it typically ranges from $89 to $104. One thing that you guys may have heard if you watch our videos over on the USA Gundam TV channel, Adam and I have talked about this a number of times, is that in recent years, Bandai has increased their costs of the kits to us. So if you guys have noticed certain kits, the cost is up maybe more, you know, $5, $10 more than what it was, you know, a year or 2, 3 years ago. That is just because Bandai has increased their prices. So obviously that gets passed on to you guys. The other thing to keep in mind is that when I tell you guys a price in the video, that's based off of the Japanese yen price. So like if you were to go to Japan and buy it in Japan, so like if the kit is 8,000 yen and I'll tell you guys, okay, that's roughly about $80 for this kit. That doesn't mean that that's how much it's going to cost here in the US or in England or in Australia or anywhere else. That's just a straight, you know, conversion of the Japanese yen to an estimated dollar amount of what it would cost, you know, there in Japan. Obviously, anywhere outside of Japan, you're talking about different prices because there's shipping and distribution and all this kind of other logistics stuff that gets in the way between there. This is a fairly recent one here regarding the Advanced Zeta contest. He said, bruh, most of the kits are P Bandai. The prizes better be worth it because most of the contestants are gonna pay a shit ton of cash. Yeah, again, you didn't have to use a Advanced Zeta kit in that. You just had to take a kit and, you know, build it in the style of Advanced Zeta. So I mean, number one, you don't even have to enter the contest at all if you don't want to. It's totally optional. And then, you know, the other option was whether you even wanted to use an Advanced Zeta kit or not. So kind of, again, seems like a little bit of, you know, personal issue and, you know, just directing that at me. You know, I understand sometimes people get up on the wrong side of the bed. Here's another one that was quite funny and very confused here. So he said, so you spent a fortune on the shipping of a giant box and end with a model 1/10 of its size. That alone is the reason I avoid the MG line. So he's saying that like because the boxes on MG kits cost so much to ship, and then once you actually build the model kit, you know, it's only like that big. So in his mind, that's a waste of money. I mean, like, you know, again, it's a model kit, and I don't know what to say to that. You know, you pay, I don't know, what's the option? What do you do? I don't know. What can I say to that? I don't know. Here's another very confused one here on the Metal Gear Rex review. He said, it's kind of stupid that all the promotional images for this model have the camo paint job. There is no images of the unpainted anywhere on official listings or resale listings. Literally baity as hell. Again, like, yeah, the promotional images are painted and the model kit is not going to look like that straight out of the box. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if they always show you the unpainted kit somewhere in like promotional images or whatever. And both Bandai and Kotobukiya have been better at that in recent years, and I believe it was actually probably Kotobukiya that actually started this trend where they show you, at least on the box anyway, there's a little picture showing the unpainted version of the kit. And so they are getting better at doing that. But I mean, again, it's a model kit. If you're familiar with what model kits are, you know that the production images that you're seeing are painted and, you know, professionally modeled, and that's not how it's going to look straight out of the box. So again, I just kind of don't really know what to tell you there. this one's funny here too. On the HDIBO Sigrun review here, this guy commented twice back to back. Here he said, Mekagaikotsu cologne. Mekagaikotsu, ever heard of it? Which I guess like trying to say that my content is like ripping off of Mekagaikotsu's content, which I mean like, yeah, we both do Gundam reviews. I mean, I don't know. Sure, yeah, so like every channel that's like similar to another one is just a clone or like just biting off another channel that does similar type of content. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. All right, guys, the last few ones that I have here are positive ones because I do want to share some of those with you guys because, you know, like I said, I get some of these, you know, hate comments, and I think as you guys saw, I mean, like a lot of them are not necessarily like even super hateful. I mean, I've seen way worse stuff on the internet in my day, of course, but so I'm, like I said, very lucky that for the most part, the comments that I get from you guys are all really nice to see. I do read all the comments, so thank you guys so much. I do try to take time to reply to comments sometimes, but you know, there's always, you know, family life and everything else, there's always stuff getting in the way. But I do want to take some time here at the end to get very wholesome with some of the really nice comments that I also saved in recent history. So like here, for example, on the topic I was just talking about a minute ago, on the Motoroid Maddox 01 review, a guy said here, thanks for every non-Gunpla mecha review. You're the only watchable guy on the net who cares about them. So yeah, maybe a dig at other content creators a little bit there, I guess, but someone who was appreciating the variety here on the channel. Here's another one about my dysfunctional hobby space, which I am still unfortunately kind of dealing with here for the time being. In my video, It's Time for a Change, he said, I've always thought that your space looked a bit cramped, though when you showed the whole room in the lamp video, it was a bit bigger than I had thought, but it still needs a bit more space. I'm always happy to support someone as down-to-earth as you are, and the objectiveness and variety in your reviews are my favorite. Love the videos, King. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, like these type of comments are, you know, they make my day. Well, the negative comments certainly don't ruin my day, because I usually just kind of let that slide and I don't really care too much about it, but the positive ones do certainly brighten my day, so thank you. Here's another really great one here. He said, I got into Gunpla over the last week and the Zeta was my first RG. This is on my RG Zeta review, by the way. I generally don't research kits much before I buy them. I think the occasional misstep is part of the fun, but man, the Zeta is something else. Loved building it and love how it looks posed, but definitely shows its age as far as kit design. It probably isn't worth the extra effort for most people, but I'm glad I picked it up, if only as a learning experience. And I replied, that's a great attitude to have, because yeah, that is a really great attitude to have in this. I mean, this is something I've talked about long in the past, but not really too much recently, unfortunately. I should kind of bring it up more often, but a really great thing to have in mind when it comes to, you know, building model kits and just kind of being in this hobby is to manage your expectations. I guess in life in general, really, managing your expectations, but it certainly applies here in model kits as well. I mean, like, on a model kit like this, you can complain about the Zeta Gundam, the RG Zeta Gundam, you know, for the issues that it does have, and I did talk about that in that video. If your expectations are managed properly, or like this guy who just kind of went into it, I guess, kind of without any particular expectations, you know, just built it and liked it for what it was and saw that it had pros and cons and he just enjoyed the experience, that is absolutely the correct mindset that I would recommend for you guys to have, you know, approaching to, you know, kind of almost anything, but especially when it comes to model kits and stuff like that. As we've seen with some of the other comments talking about like how they didn't think the kit was as good as it should be, and it shouldn't be, you know, like a toy, or it's too much like a toy or whatever. I mean, you know, it's a model kit, you know, understand the difference, understand what you're getting yourself into. If you're getting an older kit, understand it's not going to be as nice as newer kits. If you're getting a newer kit, understand that just because it's a new kit doesn't mean that it's going to be the best kit that's ever made. All this kind of stuff, I mean, it's just, you know, common sense, I feel like, probably. But last couple ones here, this guy said, hey man, I'm poor as fuck. Thanks for steering me in the direction of good kits I can afford. Thank you so much for the work and effort you put into the Gunpla community. Your hard work has helped me to make a kit decision, and it's affordable. That is awesome. You're a saint, brother. Thanks. This was on my What Are Some Must Build Master Grade Kits video. So again, yeah, awesome. That is the main reason why I do like those type of videos. I mean, like even like my main objective when it comes to doing any kind of like review videos or videos where I'm, you know, not working on a personal project and sharing that with you, but even in those videos too, I mean, I want to hopefully be a kind of source of at least some sort of educational or informational value for you guys. And, you know, that's why I share those type of videos with you guys to hopefully help you guys to make informed decisions about what kits you want to spend your money on. But, you know, as I've said in other different videos as well, it's important that you guys spend your money on what's going to make you happy as well. So, I mean, like maybe there's a kit that doesn't really have the best reviews and there's people that don't really like it, or it's a design that's not popular, but if you like it, go for it. And that's kind of at the end of the day what it's all about. And last one here is a little bit longer one, but I feel like it's a good one to end on here. He said, I don't know where else to post this since I don't have much social media presence. Not a fan of what it tends to do to people's mental health. Yeah, understandable there. He said, but I did receive a thank you email from the owner of USA Gundam Store, and I wanted to thank you guys back. I have wanted to build Gunpla ever since I was a poor kid who played with the cutouts of Gundam models and figures from toy catalogs, and I finally decided to take the plunge as an adult. You guys have provided an amazing service that helped me fulfill a childhood dream as well as create memories for my son and I to build models together. I hope that I can continue being a customer for a long time and that your business will continue to do well. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So kind of a comment directed more kind of at the business rather than what I do, but again, just this is the kind of thing that is always really great to see. I mean, whether it is for the business or related more to my particular, you know, content, when I hear from people about how Gunpla, you know, either just like helps them, you know, mentally helps them get through hard times, or how building model kits is something that helps them to, you know, families, helps fathers connect with their children. I've also heard stories about how it helps, you know, adults connect with their elderly parents and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've heard all kinds of different stories from you guys, and it's awesome, very wholesome, and definitely, like I said, it makes my day. And when I hear from people like that, and, you know, and I hear from, you know, the majority of you guys, whether your comments are, you know, like that wholesome or it's just kind of like a regular comment, it's always nice to hear from you guys and know that there's people who are, you know, still continuing to enjoy watching and continuing to find value in, you know, what I do here, making content, what USA Gundam Store does as far as being a source of, you know, product for you guys to enjoy your hobby. Any of that, it's always great to see and always great to hear from you guys. So that's going to be it for this video. A little bit longer maybe than what I was expecting, but I'm sure I can find some more. I can dig up some more. If you guys want to see another video like this in the future, I can do that. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Have fun, be nice to each other, be kind, enjoy the hobby, and just have a good time and relax. Yeah, that's what it's all about. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.